Hey everyone, Jennifer Lee Chan here from NBC Sports Bay Area. Obviously, some really unfortunate news for the 49ers is that Nick Bosa has indeed torn his ACL and will miss the remainder of the season. It's only week three, and they are going to be without one of their best players for the remainder of the season. Um, I am surprised, but not surprised. Nick Bosa is a guy who's very in tune to his body, and when he went down on the sidelines, you could tell that he knew what was going on. If anyone on the team would indicate that they had a major injury, it would be him. And he looked up to his mom in the stands, gave her the thumbs down as he went into the blue tent. And then as he came out, kind of did the maybe, not sure. He did pass the original test that they do, just the physical mobility tests on the ACL, pressure and whatnot. And probably because the rest of his leg is so healthy and strong, it didn't seem like the ACL was torn. So, what I'm thinking, and I'm not sure what the actual how the actual testing went, but that's what I'm thinking. The rest of his leg is so strong that probably the testing that they do and its pressure and pushing up against and, et cetera, et cetera, the rest of his leg is so strong that it probably felt like he still had an ACL and he didn't tear it. So he will go and have surgery once the swelling goes down and then has to go through that whole rehab process. And just sucks for any player to go through something like this. And it sucks for the 49ers, who, really were set to have a solid defense with Robert Saleh back. And you could already see the way the defense has changed with him, being the defensive coordinator, and just unfortunate. Kyle Shanahan will talk in about an hour at 3:30, so we'll get a further update from him. But it sounds like um, I didn't get confirmation from any of my sources, but I believe it is true, and it is the case that Nick Bosa will miss the rest of the season. I'm kind of in the middle of doing PFF grades, and from what I've seen, what I can tell is that the 49ers defense, with the young guys, they're doing a good job, and they're just going to have to step up faster, quicker, sooner to keep the defense at the level that it's been at for the last 3 weeks. Nick Bosa was on the field for 14 snaps before he had the injury. And you got to see a lot of different players step up. And Michael Williams was the guy who comes to mind. He had the most pressures on the team. He had one hit and five hurries. Bryce Huff was right behind him with five pressures, one sack, one hit, three hurries. So those two guys are really going to be the ones who are going to have to lead this defensive line. Fred Warner, of course, the captain of the defense, is going to do his part. And as long as he stays healthy, I think this defense still has a chance to be one of the best in the league. Sam Okuanu, three hurries. Jordan Elliott, two hurries. CJ West, Jair Brown, Alfred Collins, D. Winters, Yetur Gross-Matos, and Nick Bosa, all with one pressure. D. Winters had one hit. Everybody else had one hurry. So they do have a good defense. I mean, Nick Bosa, you can't replace him. It's a tough one. But they do have players on the team. And that's why they, as they got rid of kind of a lot of the older players that were on the team, and by old, I mean under 30, which is crazy, but you know what I'm talking about. Younger players, guys that they drafted, Bryce Huff, of course, too, but trying to add youth to the defense. And, that youth showed up. The time of possession was so skewed in the first half versus the Arizona Cardinals. And I'm not sure that last year's defense would have played better or would have had the stamina to keep up with the Arizona Cardinals through a completely lopsided, 30 plays versus 7 plays, like it was in the first half. So you've got guys like Alfred Collins, along with Michael Williams and CJ West up there. D. Winters is doing a really good job. You've got Marquis Siegel and Upton Stout making plays. And of course, Renardo Green and Diameter Lenore on the back end. So they did have some mistakes, though. There were 11 missed tackles on both sides of the ball. So 11 missed tackles by the Arizona Cardinals, 11 missed tackles by the Niners. Um, it was Kalia Davis with two missed tackles, and then CJ West, Jair Brown, Marquis Siegel, Samu Quano, D. Winters, Yetur Gross-Matos, Diameter Lenore, Fred Warner, and Bryce Hoff all had one. So it seemed like yesterday when I was watching the game live that it just like they were getting close, and then that whoever would break the tackle and get another yard or two. Um, not getting them off the field. So the Arizona Cardinals were able to put together really long drives. The defense had kind of had that bend but don't break mentality. Let them get down there, missed a field goal once, got a field goal another time. I mean, it was the field goal battle for the beginning part of the game and then touchdowns later on in the second half. Um, so it's just going to be a tough call for the defense. They're going to have to all step up. They have to you know, make extra, put together extra effort to make up for the fact that Nick Bosa will be gone for the rest of the season. On the offensive side of the ball, the Arizona Cardinals did not do Kyler Murray any favors. Three huge drops, excuse me, but the Niners also had drops. Um, Kendrick Bourne, was it Kendrick Bourne? Christian McCaffrey actually had two drops, which is very unlike him. But man, the Cardinals, three huge drops. And I feel like those drops would have been, yeah, it was Kendrick Bourne with one drop, Christian McCaffrey with two. I feel like the drops that the Cardinals made were like they were wide open, no one on them. So would have been first downs, would have been touchdowns. The Cardinals receivers did not do Kyler Murray any favors. On the offensive side of the line, they did allow some pressures, and really, Connor Colby and Dominic Pooney did not have good games. Pressure wise, Connor Colby allowed five pressures, one sack, two hits, two hurries. Dominic Pooney, two hurries, and potentially the safety. Colton McKivitz, one hit, one hurry. Trent Williams, two hurries. So the only guy who came out with a clean PFF grade. Now, and also my disclaimer always with PFF grades is that PFF does not know what the assignments are for each player, but Jake Brendel came out with a clean grade. So he actually did not allow any pressures. But again, PFF does not know who has what assignment. They are a kind of a best guess estimate when it comes to offensive line grades, but I think they do have better accuracy when it comes to defense, pressures and missed tackles. They do a great job with yards after catch, with missed tackles. So stuff like that, I think they're very, very accurate. Sometimes pressures, I don't think they're as quite accurate just because they don't know what play is being called, what everybody's assignment is supposed to be. Mac Jones had a pretty good game, to be honest. Um, you know, uh, he had one touchdown, one interception, and really he talked about the interception. He's like, I just threw the ball. I was letting it rip. I thought Ricky was going to be there. And I mean, I see why everybody likes Mac Jones. It's like, yeah, it's not like he made a great play. I threw it right to him. So, he owns up to his mistakes, and that was one of them. But, sometimes quarterbacks just have to go for it. And he did, and it just wasn't the right play at that point. Um, so I'm going to continue doing these PFF grades, looking at yards after catch and whatnot. Um, outside of the drops, I think Christian McCaffrey had a really good game. Let's see, yards after catch. Christian McCaffrey, he has more receiving yards than rushing yards. So outside of the drops, he had 69 yards after catch. Pretty good. Kendrick Bourne had 18. Um, Oddly, Ricky Pearsall had nine. He was running great routes and then would get tackled right at the point of reception. But man, Ricky Pearsall, what a game for him. Didn't catch everything going to his way, but he wasn't cited for any drops. 117 yards, eight catches on 11 targets. Ricky Pearsall is really turning into the receiver that they wanted, or they thought he would be when he was drafted. I mean, a first round pick. They've hit on these two first round picks in Ricky Pearsall and Michael Williams, and really, it's just they're going to get better as time goes along. Uh, Good news for week 4 is that Demarcus Robinson comes back. I think Juwan Jennings probably makes his way back, and Brock Purdy as well. So, as much as they are going to miss Nick Bosa, they are getting some reinforcements. I think that's a good thing. I don't think we'll see Brandon Ayuk or George Kittle until week 6 or beyond. George Kittle is eligible for week 6. Brandon Ayuk could be eligible week 5. I just don't think they put him out on the field for a week 5 game when there's no practice for a Thursday night game. Same thing with Malik Mustafa. Malik Mustafa, I saw him running on the field and he is moving. He looks agile. He's looking fast. So I think Malik Mustafa is on pace to return midseason as well. So there is some good news, but obviously, unfortunate news with Nick Bosa. I'll keep you guys updated after Kyle Shanahan talks. Also, please make sure to stream 49ers Now. I'll be on with Bonte and Carlos Ramirez. So check that out. That's at 4 p.m. on the NBC Sports YouTube page, NBC Sports Bay Area. I posted the link on my stories, but stay tuned for more updates. I'll post some short videos as well. Um, yeah, I just spoke to Nick Bosa's mom outside the locker room. Mom and dad were out there. They both went in before the team got in there. Once the team gets in there, obviously, as they're changing, family members had to leave. So Nick's mom stepped outside, chatted with her for a little bit, and she just, a mom as normal, anxious to hear what the deal was. They were hoping for better results with the MRI, but unfortunately, that was not the case. All right, more to come, everybody. Tune in, and I'll keep you updated with all the news.